Well, hello, Dragon family. Are you guys excited as I am? I know we're going to take a few minutes here to get everybody on. I've had a lot of response. I know there's a lot of different things going on today. Much awareness of this 888 portal. Typically it's just an 88, but this year with 2024, it makes it a 888. It's super unique, super special, and I've had some insight about the specific role this one is playing for us this year, which is massive. So I'm beyond excited. I've got the energies that wanted to be in the space with us today, with the Diamond Dragon and the Womb Dragon in its crystal sphere. So we have that crystal aspect also in there, and I see everybody rapidly joining in. This is going to be super exciting. So I'm going to give it a few minutes because it's not like when we have a solstice meditation that I often do, where there's a specific point, there's a specific time of the day that we want to be in meditation over that peak. Well, we're in the energy, it's all here. This portal is open, and it's been open for a couple weeks or a week and a half now or something as we go into it. And it actually kicked off. I'm going to go back and share this a little bit. It actually kicked off July 22nd, which was unexpected. It was during my Lyran group, which is my ongoing Dragon Hearts that I meet with every month. That's my inner circle. I've got 2 groups every month. That's my Quantum Flight ongoers and my original Dragon Heart ongoers, that we keep all the new information coming, and I get it out into group sphere so that keeps broadening into the collective. So everybody that's in my programs gets to be part of that. And I'm so excited. I have a new Quantum Flight group, really powerful, coming together. I think there's, I want to say 11 or 12 at this point. I am going to limit it. It was a little too big last time. Energetically, it's just a lot. But I feel like this one was meant to be slightly smaller. So I'm going to see how that unfolds. But if you have been feeling a heart call, or you feel something stir after this meditation together, reach out to me so that you can get the application, or look for the post in the feed. Even on YouTube, there's a couple of the most recent lives each week. There's a link to the application, or I've talked about it to get more information, because I am leaving. I'm going to share this with you because this is part of that energy. So as I said, it started July 22nd. Since then, some more information has come in through some of my Dragon Hearts that I've had sessions with in July. With that July special, I had a lot of sessions last month, and it was so beautiful, and so much came together for everybody involved, right? Everybody gets their piece, and there's little crumbs that come in for me. But what I noticed was on July 22nd, this unexpected anchoring of Starphire. And we were having a discussion about our core fire, Starphire Generator, core fire generator, these different terms, like whatever one resonates with you, grab onto that and hold it for the ride of your life, because this was the kick in. And I was so shocked and surprised because it was coming in out of nowhere. And all of a sudden in the meditation, or just before we went in meditation, it was like, as this discussion started, and the group sphere was the first one to be really discussing that aspect of our Starphire, pulling us in. All of a sudden, there was this brilliant light up from us as a core sphere, right? And there were literally, like, it drew some attention. I tell you what, there were thousands, I will tell you, thousands of diamond dragons, thousands of diamond dragons that all of a sudden noticed what we're doing and swooped around the sphere. My body's getting tingles on that because they've been waiting for that. They've been watching and waiting for groups around the planet to get to that place, and then they go and they support it. We went into a meditation that was rock house. I mean, woo, big, big, big. And they were really, really holding the space for that, amplifying it to another degree. And then what that does is amplify it out for all the successive macro level expansions of our collective sphere that are opening as this transition starts. So when I'm mentioning this transition, I want to go back because I put it in the description or in the little headline of the bridging between the dragons and the Lyrans. And that this gate is about the Lyrans. So we call it the Lion's Gate, but typically that's associated with Leo, the sign of the astrological sign, and the movement into Leo with specific planetary alignments. I believe it's Orion and Sirius, and they all are lined up for this period of time. Makes it super powerful, makes it a big gate. But this one is adding that third eight, that other aspect that pulls it all the way up to the Lyran system. And as I believe I mentioned last Friday in talking about this meditation that we're going to go into, the Premier Noble, this beautiful, I would call her, she's like an empress, but she doesn't go by empress. She's just top nobility. When she came in and kept saying, this is my gate, this is my gate, it was to let me know that from the top down in Lyra, they are now beginning their transition to, all right, we're ready. There's enough momentum. There's enough of the, what do we call it? The, not the pivot point, but when we've reached a specific level that is, there's no going back. Like we're at that critical mass. That's it. The critical mass of those dragons that have already handed over baton or are in process of that with their Lyran counterparts for holding the new grid vectors. That's one of the things that is happening as we shift into the fifth dimensional new earth space, is the dragons are handing off their responsibility and service of holding the grids to the Lyrans. And so there's been this transition happening for about 2.5 years now when I saw it starting. And all the upper grids are done. Now this new quantum flight program that we have coming is about pulling all that energy and opening the portals into the fifth dimensional sphere, into this fifth dimensional bandwidth, so that, yeah, we've got it from the bottom up, well, from the top down, so that it's not a forced bridging or like an elevator chute to go from, say, 12D entering this universe down to 3D where we are. It's been like an elevator chute, a transition that had to be dimensionally sequenced in order for beings to be in contact with us and assist us. Well, as we go into this new space, they're going to have direct connection in. So 12D straight in, 11D straight into the 5D. There's gateways now so that those beings are directly connected in for that bigger amplification of the full quadrant of this sector of the universe and multiverse. So in that's what the new quantum flight group is doing. Well, what's happening today then is we are getting a much bigger sphere together. The goal for each of you is to receive that Starfire activation and really start feeling that in your high heart movement into what is your Starfire. If you haven't heard of that, we talked about a while back that you are not Stardust. If you listen to my Dragon Thunder talk, there was very clear messaging coming in of really sharing that point that Stardust is that Starfire which has stopped moving. It's locked in. It's locked in 3D. So we need to get that Starfire generator going within us again. What is that going to do for you? That's your core essence. That's that brilliant light connection. Getting that amplified in and anchored in is about building up your field where it starts burning off dross, burning off stuff that you're ready to release, and amplifying to start you moving into the alignment with your full blueprint, your full true divine blueprint that is the human framework of its intention, its original intended design. We have moved way away from that in the 3D bodies that we have right now. If you go back to your memory banks of maybe an Atlantean form or a Lemurian form, you know that we operated differently. We lived a lot longer. We could heal ourselves much easier. We still had part of that template in place. Well, then we had to degenerate away from it. So we're getting that back. We're starting on track back into the alignment with that. That's going to be what happens when there's a lot of Starfire in your field. That's going to kick those carbon molecules into silica construct at an atomic level. That starts the shift for your body to go from carbon to silica, which is crystalline, which is our natural DNA blueprint state. So this is beyond exciting for me because this has not come in before. This has not been ready. We've not been ready as a collective. these kinds of pieces have come in for specific, like in some of my classes or clients, but now it's ready to go out on a much bigger scale. And as we do this together, that's going to kick in with other groups that are doing something similar, and that's going to amplify. And that's what all these diamond dragons are waiting for. You'll probably feel them coming in. I will be honest, I don't know specifically who is working with us today. I'm going to drop in the sphere just like I do in my groups, just like I do in my readings, where I connect in and it's all in the flow, in the now. I have no preconceived notion other than this being about Starfire, where we're headed today. So we're going to go on an adventure, a journey together. This is going to be a big energy, so get comfortable. Have your feet on the ground, or if you're laying down, like your whole body touched into the ground. If you've got crystals around you, it'd be great to maybe hold one, especially like a Herkimer diamond or rare, very clear quartz crystal, or something that you know is a crystal that aligns with you, that is maybe connected to your dragon if you're aware of that, or something that just has always drawn you as a super powerhouse. I'm not going to be using this one today, but as an example, I've got this Andara crystal that I work with a lot. Super amplifier. That's why. And maybe she does. Oh, she's talking to me now. She's like, hello, I do want to be with you. You're going to hold me in your lap because I'm going to amplify the signal for the entire sphere. So, wow, I wasn't expecting that. All right. Beautiful. So that's going to be in my lap. Oh, she's even telling me a specific direction to position her. All right. Going straight out. Now, as we go in, this will be guided. I will be leading you through as well as experiencing it myself. That's what happens when I do meditations in all of my groups, or when I'm doing a meditation that's going to be recorded to be on the site as one of the guided meditations with a specific dragon. We're going to drop into that space together. I will be guiding with my voice for you to be able to follow, and I'm also within it. So my own activation amplifies that energy, and just being aware and allowing your intention to be to receive the highest and best gift. And so one of the things I feel called to do as well that I don't always do on these meditations on this format live is to invoke us into the sphere. And this is what I do in every one of my sessions and every one of my group gatherings. It's a divine alignment to really bring us into what I would consider a closed sphere, a sphere where other beings in a reading space, they can't manipulate or be in if they're not meant to be part of it. And so setting the outer edges of the sphere to be the highest and best space as we go into this, so that, not that we need protection, but that it's a clear held space and we don't have any other beings that are usually attached to some of us anywhere in this room. They are asked to move out. They have to move out because it gets to a certain level and they just sort of have to stand back and watch. And those beings witnessing that, depending on what vibrational level they're at, will actually learn a lot and possibly receive a lot from it as well. But I'll just go and start with that. So as we call forth divine truth and love into this sacred space, we invoke the highest possible healing and sharing of information for each of those present within the sphere. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness to all involved. So that also includes speaking from the heart. Everything that's going on maybe unconsciously, subconsciously, in all the conversations that we might be having with beings around us on all dimensional levels, allowing that to be the highest good for everyone involved and for truth to be shared. So start by just really focusing on your breathing. And maybe take 3 long, deep inhalations and exhalations, just like you normally would going into a meditative space, just to relax the body. Every muscle needs to be relaxed. Every cell needs to be open and receptive. So feeling the muscles from the head all the way down to the toes, run a scan through your body, and intend and send a message to that part of your body to open and receive, to relax, open, and receive. as those 3 normal long in and out breaths are complete, what I want you to do with your breathing now is focus on allowing the in-breath, and then vision and intend that your out-breath actually breathes itself out, not so much from your lungs out the normal breath channel and past the mouth or nose, but to intend and allow it to actually start breathing through and exhale through all of your organs, tissues, skin, as we move towards that is also part of our higher framework, where our body breathes itself, our cells breathe themselves. The lungs and the tunnel of air that comes from the mouth and nose all the way down in to fill the lungs is not the only channel in our highest aspect where we receive breath, where we move into alignment with a higher structure. We allow that to begin that process now. Just vision and intend as you let go of even seeing the out-breath, but knowing that it's breathing itself out through the edges of the lungs, through the organs, through the tissues, through the skin. And just stay with that kind of a breathing pattern as you move into following the guidance and feeling the energy of what is happening around you in the energetic dimensional space. Letting go of the space you're in, the room you're in, any other beings in your household, office, or space. Maybe you're out in nature. And just allow. Hirai nagar maya shandala. Abashgar mietu. Mor nialainaha na ar. Yegashaina madakata. Or kienalahaina asha ar. Ibeshano na ma'ar. Bilodagai ma'ar ia nakata. And with that light language, just allowing this beautiful, high, noble Lyran to enter the space, to recognize who she be. And allowing her field of emissaries as she sends a beautiful winged Lyran, maybe lion, maybe other feline species. It depends on who is the best alignment for you. As you feel one come to be directly with you, they may stand behind you, in front of you, on your left or right, maybe left or right side, but out in front of you. And just allow your heart to connect directly to them and receive a message that they have for you. And I can see her setting up an energetic grid with each of us that is receiving this. And this is for both those that are on the call live right now, or on this group live, and for all the playback, because there will be many catching this on a playback. And I can just feel the entire sphere, feel the greater number of beings in and around you, where we're all connected, and how this beautiful grid of Lyrans is being lit up as she sends an energy from her beautiful lion heart out and down and into that grid. You'll feel it light up with the being that is directly in front of or positioned around you. And now you'll begin to feel the dragons entering the sphere. And you may have a dragon guide that you're used to, and they may be stepping forward in a position around you as well. But what you'll definitely perceive is a diamond dragon These thousands of diamond dragons that stepped forward previously are present again, and they too are sending in a grid structure with one being sent to each of us. And just take note of where they are positioned in relation to the Lyran. Maybe one is in front, one is behind, or one is to the left, one is to the right. Maybe they're standing side by side, either in front of or behind you, above or below. Let them show you the reason for their positioning in relation to your blueprint activation and the biggest piece that needs to be moved out of your sphere in order to allow this energy to begin to penetrate. And then allow them to begin working together to release that particular point in your sphere. It may be in one of your organs, maybe in one of your chakras, it may be in one of your bodies, physical, mental, emotional, or energetic. And just let those threads be pulled out. If you're given the history of that density, beautiful. If not, just watch it as it releases and moves away. And just stay with that, allowing them to work with you consistently. Anas now ni aika, matar pietu, bahorniakai la ataasha. Stay with it. Begin to feel a core seed point in the middle of your being. Feeling inside your core, in the middle of your heart space, and it's both your heart and your high heart. You might feel the entire upper torso region beginning to resonate with a frequency of blue light as that seed point that is your soul seed point. It's a connection string back to your full solar body. And that seed point begins to glow and resonate with this starfire. And there's so much energy within it. It's literally like feeling a star bursting up and in and through and out of your chest. And you may notice that as it expands, what you feel is as if the beings around you, these beautiful Lyran and dragon beings, are pulling from their own starfire, from their own seed point in the core of their heart, their lion heart, their dragon heart. It's like something is pulling on your seed point to draw that starfire into presence within you. And everyone will feel it to different levels. It might stay as a very tiny seed, but it's the beginning of that being within and expanding. Some of you that are ready might feel it as if it's expanding all the way through your chest and out to the edges of your energy body. Whatever level you are ready to activate, allow that to really expand. To be consciously in tune with and tapped into, possibly for the first time in this body, in this human framework, to your starfire. You may begin to feel like you have so much energy bursting that you could run in circles. You want to leap for joy. Everything wants to go faster. I have to consciously slow the speed of my voice down as it just wants to rip forward with the energy. And as you witness this constant pulling, it's a magnetic field that they're pulling to bring yours out of you. You may begin to feel a looping with their own starfire core, where they send it back into you to amplify yours, and they keep pulling yours towards them. Allow yourself to begin to sense, see, or feel what configuration that looping takes. Is it purely an eclipse? Is it infinity loops? Is it a more complex configuration that's expanding around you? Because they're aware of your signature configuration. And they may be pushing specific vectors or points or touching into them, sending energy into them to activate them up so that more and more of your full configuration comes into your bodily framework to move you forward. To bring in your capacity to hold a higher vibrational bandwidth on every cell, through every layer of tissues in every body. You may be also beginning to feel as if your physical, mental, emotional, and energetic bodies are weaving together, as if they're being compressed into a singular layer. Whatever you're experiencing, just allow it to be made conscious and allow yourself to continue to open, to receive to the greatest degree. The Diamond Dragon and the Lyran may need to show you things. They may have insights for you. Allow them to speak or show you as this ongoing process unfolds. The assistance they are here to give for you to reach your 0-point gateway and move into the depths of it, deeper and deeper into the midpoint of it, the midpoint of the now moment. Feel the fullness of your reconnection to all that you be, to your seed point of this human journey, in this body, in this lifetime. All the way back to the basis of your core fire, your Starphire Generator that is in your full solar body. Maybe light body is a term that you know, but solar body is more accurate. as that starfire continues to expand through all of your bodies. You might begin to feel a sensation of a triple helix spiral moving up and down your spine, up and down your crystalline core. Runs from the wisdom center through the heart down into the hara, womb space, the power center. You might feel it activating into a full spin. Might be moving into a crystalline alignment. Some of you may have it moving into an aspect of diamond. Let that open all of your crystalline geometries into their readiness to expand. Now becoming aware outside of your individual sphere of the larger configuration in the group sphere. Becoming aware of all the Lyran dragon pairs working with each individual and the configuration that they're moving into, as if they're pulling each individual into a larger configuration. And this is the gift we are giving to Gaia. As we each come into this, and this group sphere activates a brilliant level of starfire. Allow yourself to perceive it as it opens and lights up through Gaia's core, and is part of activating fully her starfire. Her core is crystalline already. It's moved to diamond, but now, as we are ready, she can actually begin to generate the starfire she needs to move fully into fifth dimensional presence, into her full solar body. I can feel this beautiful wave of so much love for Gaia in each of your hearts, extending out to her like a giant hug. But it's this beautiful, beautiful sphere of light that is being positioned in and around her core seed point. And it's acting like a reciprocal generator that, as this one is alive and active, it's pulling hers, just like the dragon and the Lyran were pulling out of ours because theirs is active. Now we're the humans that have to do it for Gaia. We're the team that's here. My whole body's tingling on that. That we in this configuration around her central seed point in the middle of her core are allowing her starfire activation beginning. And just witness that feel as she feels that like an in-breath of, it's time. She's been waiting so long for humanity to bring this to her, knowing that signals the beginning of her full transition. And she will be dynamically able to expand on that because she remembers. And this host of thousands of diamond dragons is also moving their circle, those that aren't paired with each of us, moving their sphere all the way around her energy body. And feel it amping up, even moving through us as a sphere and beyond us like starlight, as if we are close to the core of a star. And it's like feeling the universe smile. Feel that level of what we might term love, but there's so many layers within that, with deeper, richer meaning and expression than our simple word of love. Divinity, unity, that golden thread of connection that comes in on the heels of this blue starfire expansion. Just whoa. It's very different than the bliss state, the unity consciousness, or the stepping into oneness that some of you may have felt before. It's active, it's alive, it's here, it's present. And it's such a deeper state of connection, tangibly, physically. Allowing yourself to stay in that space as long as you feel called to. Amplifying for Gaia, knowing that we are all intending and allowing this to continue. Amplifying throughout the remainder of this full 888 gateway. That is not just today, but goes until the 12th. That every time we connect into it consciously, we find ourselves back in this space, feeling our own starfire amplified, witnessing that of Gaia continuing to amplify as we bear witness to the beginning of the transition, the release of the dragons in service, and their Lyrans stepping into full capacity, full ownership in service of the vectors, the grids, the configuration of this system. So with that, I don't think any more needs to be said. Wow. Really different energetically than the big bliss states we reach, the energetic spaces we sometimes go to. It feels so much more embodied, and what I'm feeling right now is clarity and true, like, inner peace. And what I find really beautiful is right here in this moment, as my eyes are open, I see 33 sitting here within this sphere with us together. I know it will be amplified much more. There will be others that watch on the playback, but to me, that magic number 33, I almost want to take a screenshot of it. Listening, tuned in right now together. Couldn't have asked for more perfect alignment. All right, so holding space for your own activation, release, and movement into that space to continue, as also that for Gaia. I want to thank you so much for joining, being here, and being part of my dragon family all these years. Even if you're new to it, this sphere has been building for the last 8 years, and it's super exciting to see that even though not everyone's active in this For the Love of Dragons forum, we're over 5,000 on membership, and they're touched in consciously in some level. So this is really being amplified, and you may feel or perceive things as we move into the end of August, and I'm in Yellowstone working with the male fire dragon, beginning my work of untethering the entire Council of Mu from their responsibility. So big pieces happening. Wishing you a beautiful rest of your journey for today, all the different things you participate in. If you haven't done any others yet, or maybe this is the last one for you, this will go in and rebound into all those spheres that you're connected to. So every part of every group you're a part of in this process throughout these maybe 3 days, they're now connected into ours, because every sphere we're part of, it creates this big interweaving, and that energy streams into all of them. So thank you for being a part here. I will see you guys possibly in a couple weeks. I'm off for the next 2 weeks to go up into Wyoming and work with that fire dragon, to have some time away with my family as well. Ha! That's what I thought. It was just a family vacation, but it's so much more now. And if I can get a signal and do a live from there, and I'm inspired, I will. Otherwise, I will see you guys the week of August 26th when I am back at it, and wishing you so much beautiful integration and continuation of this. Much love to each of you. Bye for now.